Remember how beautiful it is. Life. Flora, I've arrived in this city with the sea. The journey wasn't easy. It felt like it took half a lifetime. There were days when I thought I wouldn't make it. Or worse, that going was pointless. But life doesn't exist without those, does it? We instinctively run from pain, but suffering can be the start of happiness. I am here, in a house with a big window, sitting right by it, looking at the water, writing to you. I looked for a long time for the place where I'd start writing you these letters. One day they'll reach you, and I want to hope you'll read them and raise a glass. À la vie. Flora, don't dive too deep into problems and anxieties. They'll always be around. Better to just cook up some good food, invite the people close to you, and together, remember how amazing it is. La vie. Elçin Zaferli, A House Where Light Shines. This is the book that you unfortunately will not be able to read unless you know Russian, because it is originally written in Russian, but it is the book that I consider to be very life-changing because of its simplicity, because of its authenticity, and because it is so much about life. If you feel like you have been perhaps in a lot of stress lately, perhaps you've been confused about life or your next move or what to do or who you want to be friends with, any possible question you can have, I think this book can answer in its own way. And the secret of this book is that it's written in letters. So the whole book is written in letters, starting from chapter 1. And the letters are from a grandmother to her granddaughter who she has never seen in her life. And in those letters, she's talking about life. Her life, our life, everybody's life. And I encountered this book when I was in the middle of pretty heavy depression when I was in Germany. Not blaming the country or anything like that, even close, but that is what happened to me, right? And I tried to do everything I could to get out of the depression. I tried doing like cold showers 3 times a day, meditating, breathing, like breath work, just talking it out. But nothing would really work. Nothing would satisfy me. And the depression would just deepen. And at some point, I would just go outside and do my regular chores. And then I would just start crying all of a sudden, just in the middle of the street. And I couldn't even explain that to myself. I wasn't sure whether it was the country that was making me feel depressed or it was something else. I just felt like something was fundamentally off with me, right? My nervous system was a wreck. I didn't know what to do. I tried talking with ChatGPT and Gemini, because I couldn't afford myself a normal psychologist at the time. I really wanted someone to give me the answer, but no one had the answer for me. And then somehow, I don't even remember how, maybe it was on Pinterest, I encountered this book. And I just decided to read it. I felt that instinct that I had to read it. And so from the first chapter, I was in love and I knew the answers to my problems. And it was just like, she was talking about how she just made the move. She moved to the city with the sea, and how at first it was so hard for her and the road there was incredibly challenging, and how the decision felt like it was wrong at first, but then it felt like it was, it was the best decision she has ever made. And at the time, I had a choice. I had an option to come visit my brother and his girlfriend and my whole other family, right? My siblings, and yeah, I had that option to visit them, and another country in Bulgaria for some time. But if I did that, I would stop being a refugee in Germany, right? If I left the country, I would stop my temporary protection there. That pathway would be closed for me forever. And I didn't know what to do. I would tell them no, I tell them that I probably wouldn't go because, well, how would it be? I was so worried. I was so in my head about all of this. But then I read this book, and from the first chapters, I get the answer. I get the answer that the woman who writes and speaks and thinks in the same ways that I do, she just moved to the city with the sea. I read her whole book. I consumed each word with such hunger. And when I read it all, I realized that what I truly want in life is being always honest with myself. Extremely honest, extremely sincere, right? I don't care about the temporary protection. I don't care about the status. Here, if I'm so unhappy here, if I'm unhappy with everything that I'm doing every single day, if I am following the right path, but not the right path for my soul, not the right path for my heart. And this book, what it does to you, it shows you many different pathways, just as we have in life. And the grandmother there, she says that she has many regrets. She does. She has many things that she's always thinking about, even going her path, her way. But the truth is, would she change anything? Would she go back and change anything in her life? No. No, because she followed her path. She followed her heart. And she did something that she was meant to do in her life. She remained herself. And she inspired me to do the same. She literally inspired me to leave Germany, to move to Bulgaria for about a week, and then come back to Ukraine for a while, and then move again and do what my heart truly desires. Because in the book, she's talking about the art of love. True love. Love for life. À la vie. Love for oneself. For our heart's desires. For other people, for the simple beauties of life, for the sea. That is what she's talking about. This book inspired me to create a mini practice. It's not like something new, something extraordinary that has not been ever created yet. No, but it's still inspiring. For those of us who are doubting our nervous systems, who want to restore our nervous system, but are too worried of the outcomes again, I think what we should do is write ourselves a letter from our grandmother. Us in 20 or 30 or 60 years. And I'm going to read it to you, and maybe it will speak to you as well. Dear Anna, don't be too hard on yourself, darling. I am writing to you looking at the ocean. That's where I always wanted to go, the ocean. Just a second ago, I was playing with the waves, and now my feet are deeply covered in sticky sand. You know, my darling, it's the best feeling of freedom. I can write a lot, create, prepare dishes for my neighbor and our entire family. Our grandpa is right here with me. That fool. Not long ago, he actually threw me in the cold water. Can you believe it? I laughed like crazy. My dear, you worry too much about every little thing, every thought, every decision you're going to make. The truth is, none of them will be stable either. Your decisions change along with your thoughts. And that happens quite often. That's true. I mean, that's another thing that I realized is that I make decisions so quickly, right? I left Ukraine and I went to Germany, and there I had so many things happening and I was worried about every little thing. I got into university there. I quit my Ukrainian university and I got into a German university. And then I sort of quit my German university. And then I quit my temporary protection, which I worked so hard to even apply for, to get the whole process there. I worked my ass off, literally. I fought for so many things there. And at the end of the day, I left. And now I'm looking back. My God, I was so worried about all of those decisions. All of those decisions, as probably you are as well. Remember that math test you were so worried about? Where is it now? You probably didn't sleep for nights. Your nervous system was a wreck. But do you ever care about that now? Is that really impacting your life? I somehow doubt it. I mean, I really do. So that's the thing, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna continue reading. Yeah, your decisions change along with your thoughts, and that happens quite often. Let it go. It brought me exactly where it is that I want to be. My home, adventures, freedom, family. And I'm happy that it did. Don't overthink it all too much, but listen to your heart and brain, my girl. Especially your heart. It is always telling you what you want. Listen to it. Trust yourself more and don't be discouraged by your individuality. On the contrary, it is what makes you, you. Good luck, my girl. I am here for you. Know that we have achieved all the important things that we wanted. With love, me in 60 years. I finally felt like everything would be okay. I would be okay. I'm gonna start crying now. But yeah, there are no wrong choices. It's our life and we're meant to live it. Experience it. Taste it, try it out. But worrying about the decisions that we make. I mean, of course we're gonna worry, right? Because we're wired that way. Our nervous system is wired that way, but I really want to change that because it's not how it's meant to be. It's not. You know why? Because that woman right there, that woman in the letters, she is truly living. Truly. She's fully alive and she's allowing life to penetrate her. And that is what we all want, isn't it? We want the adventures. We want to live the life that is ours. So, go and write yourself that letter. And in the next videos, I think I will focus on exploring how it is that we can help ourselves be more in the present moment. And her advice is making jam, which I love. I love prepping food or doing any kind of other art. But I think there are other ways, other secrets as well, that maybe we should explore. And that's what we're going to do in the next video. So thank you for watching me. This is a different kind of video because I'm just sitting in front of the camera and talking, and it's not very structured, but who the cares, right? Thank you guys for watching me. Love with all my heart.